All right, welcome back to another episode of A Pipe Story, brought to you by Pipes and Picking. I'm here with what I've called in the past my crawdaddy pipe. It's another Rocco. It is a Fatta Mano, and according to Google Translate, that means handmade. I don't know if it's handmade or not, but it is a great pipe, and I broke the stem off a few months back. And I was really upset because I really enjoy this pipe. It's one in my heavy rotation. Really cool lines on it. Really cool lines. Nice sandblast. Kind of an odd chimney shape. Very simple bit. Very simple stem. Nice little golden, probably brass or something. Little ring there, but just not a very ornate pipe, but just a very good, solid smoker. Good deep bowl. I really enjoy this pipe. Draws nice, stays nice and cool. I really enjoy this pipe a lot. I was really ticked at myself for having broken the stem, but that's how it goes. And I call it my crawdaddy pipe because this is sort of an odd, misshapen bowl, and with the sandblasting that they did on it, as you can see, if you know what a crawdaddy hole or crawfish hole or crayfish, whatever you may call it, what they do is they bury down in the mud and pile up the mud on top of it, leaving a hole in the middle of this big mud tower that they built. And I think this looks like a crawdaddy hole. I don't really know. But anyway, that's what it looks like to me. So in here I've got one of my home blends that I've been working on, and I found in my blending, and you can overcomplicate it a lot. I get kind of enamored with Englishes and some of the nuances in there. I think I mentioned it in the comments. I just get really enamored trying to duplicate some of those, and you just can't. I ain't figured out the secret sauce. I don't know if I can get the components the same, but I'm finding that when I simplify things, if I just make a basic vapor and different or a basic Virginia or a basic barley, if I do there's a lot of room to explore and have fun with that in that construct that I seem to do better. Now I'm going to get back into my Englishes, but I came up with this this vapor, and it's primarily light Virginia, and there's a good bit of Perique. But I also put some burley in there as well. It's just light Virginia burley and Perique. And then I'll let it sit up for a while. And man, it's just a good, mellow, smooth smoke. A little bit of the tobacco-y taste. You're getting the grass, the hay, the sweet kind of grass that you would get from a Virginia that sat up for a while. And the Perique, even though on the percentages there's a good bit of it, that burley really mellows it out, and the Perique kind of seems to go to that nutty, earthy of the burleys, and it just makes for a really nice complementary smoke. I'm really loving how Virginias and burleys interact together. That's been kind of fun, but it got me to thinking on the way down here today. A couple things. I've been thinking a lot about what I want to do on the channel by the time when I finish up the pipe story, and I'm getting down to the end of this. So one of the things that kind of slowed me down was there's a few pipes, this one included, that I'd sent off to Briarville, and Rick and the guys at Briarville just did an amazing job with this one. The pipe that I'm going to use for my giveaway at 100 subscribers, and the last pipe I'm going to do is one of my surprise that I'm going to leave out there. But it got me in thinking what I want to do with the channel after that's over. It's coming sooner than I had realized, or this project. And you know, there I'm sure there'll be some of just me out here smoking a pipe, talking about life. And I'm sure one thing I'd like to do is do sort of a layman, I guess, country boys review on some of the tobaccos that I like and some of the ones that I try. I'd like to have a good series going on blend reviews. It'll, you know, have to force me to smoke more tobacco. Oh well. And I just kind of like the idea of just, you know, us sitting out here on the porch talking about tobacco blends and some of the ones that I like and what I don't, and things like that. Maybe that'll help you, and I can in your tobacco selection, and I can promise you that I will not be very hipstery and try to give what I would call a layman's a review for tobacco. And there's some guys that do that, and that's great. But I'm going to put some that I try out there, because I found that a lot of the tobaccos that I like or that I pick up, I can't find much in the way of reviews. It's not to say I've got some weird outlandish taste, but I just have a hard time finding reviews for the tobaccos I like. Or maybe I'm just weird, and that's probably true. But the other thing I'd like to do, I've been thinking a lot about this actually, that I'd like to, as I've said before in some of the videos, I would like to really get going a home blending community, kind of as a subset of the YTPC. Now, I kind of cut home blenders into two separate categories. I don't like mixing blends. There's some guys that do and do a great job of it. There's some great recipes out there. I just like breaking down the components. So there's two different types of home blenders, but what I'd like is maybe like a subsection of the YTPC of creators. You know, I don't know about sharing their recipes, maybe share their recipes, but talking about blending. If you go out there and look on YouTube, if you look up pipe tobacco blending, there's some. Pipes and Cigars did a really good thing with Cornell and Deal on breaking down the different components, and they did a little video on you know, Virginias and what you can expect with them, and Burleys and Cavendishes and those different things. And I mean, I've got them bookmarked, saved, and go back to them. They're great. And you'll see guys do presses. There's some promotional videos showing them, you know, Cornell and Deal and some of the other ones, you know, mixing up, blending some of their stuff. Well, they're not talking about it. They're not talking about it as a home hobby. And in the same way that there are home brewers in the craft beer market, I think we should have the same thing in the pipe community as well for home blenders. I'd like to see that kind of pick up. So I'd like to find a way for us to engage each other in home blending, and on both sides of that aisle, the component folks and the mixers that blend up existing blends and blend them together. There's some great ones. Eric, the Blue Collar Pipe Smokers, have just put one out on Instagram on I forget the name of it, but he's got one of Frog Morton's Ghost that he's come up with. That's a really good blend. There's some good blends out there. I just like messing with the components, but I like to see that because it's a really cool part of the hobby that I've enjoyed. I'm never going to be the guy that carves a pipe. There is a limit to my wife's patience on pipe collecting. There's a limit on space too. I'll probably never stop, but there is a limit to that. But this is a really fun way to do it. Now, is it, some of the conversations that I've seen are, is it, I can't do it as good as Seattle Pipe Club or some of the guys at Cornell and Deal. No, I mean, you can't. But at the same time, I mean, I make a great steak on the grill, but I'm not going to quit my day job and go work at the steakhouse or open up a steakhouse doing it. I mean, I'm not bad in the kitchen either on a lot of things that I do, but I'm not going to go quit and be a professional chef. So, on the flip side of that, there is a lot of personal satisfaction I find in my cooking. Being able to get a steak, come up with a barbecue rub, or make a steak, or make a good dinner that my wife and my family enjoy, or that I know is really good. There's a lot of personal satisfaction in that, and there's also a lot of personal satisfaction I find in coming up with my own blends, like this blend number 20 I call it, because I haven't come up with a name yet. But there's a lot of satisfaction, and man, I really want a real bold, spicy, light vapor that's got a lot of peppery taste to it, but at the same time, those light Virginias are really allowed to show up and shine through, and the burley complements it rather than overtakes it. That's a really cool, there's a lot of satisfaction when you can hit that profile, hit that taste profile. Is it repeatable? Sometimes. Depends on how the quality of your tobacco or how long you've aged it and things like that. But at the same time, there's a lot of satisfaction I found in coming up with those recipes myself and putting them together and smoking them. And just like that there are home brewers, as I said, in the craft beer market, I don't think I'm some special unicorn or something, that I'm the only person that enjoys that or would enjoy that. So I'm going to, when I finish up the pipe story, I'm going to start really trying to find some ways to engage with home blending. And the point of this video is, if you are a home blender, no matter how you do it, let's find some conversation points, man. Let's talk about that. Let's get something going. Collaborative videos, finding a way to swap recipes, give samples, give feedback, and not tick each other off. Everybody kind of check your ego at the door. But let's find a way to do that, man. That'd be a lot of fun. Be a really cool way to engage with the community. Some of us don't live really close to a pipe shop where we can just pass out bags of stuff to our buddies at the pipe shop. I mean, we just make this our own pipe shop. We do it anyway, sitting around talking about everything else that comes to mind. Let's do this too. So anyway, that's my thought. So if you'd like to kind of work with me on sort of a blending subsection, a blending community within the YTPC, man, hit me up, subscribe, or hit me in the comments, message me, VR, whatever works, man. Let's see if we can put something together like that. It doesn't have to take over your channel, but just sort of be a conversation thing that we do. I mean, if you kind of let your mind wander with it, you could, I could see an informal club or even a formalized club kind of start building up. Maybe even, and this is wild, maybe even getting to a point where we can, a home blending group, negotiate better prices on components or things like that. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of talking out of my head, but as I tend to do. But anyway, just wanted to get that out there. That's sort of the direction I'm going with the channel after I wrap up Pipe Story. I'll be doing some blends. Probably call it something like Country Boy Reviews. Unpretentious tobacco blends. But I'd like to really, really engage with the blending community, and even if we end up creating a blending community within the larger community, I think that'd be really cool. I'd enjoy doing it. So anyway, that's today's video. Hope y'all enjoyed. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope everybody and your family's doing well, and that you're taking care of each other. So y'all keep on piping, y'all keep on picking, and we'll see y'all later. Take care.